Well, welcome one, welcome all, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you are on the face of the earth. This is your channel here on Farmers of Thought. Farmers of Thought. I'm back in the land of my fathers, right here in Zimbabwe, and I would like to send greetings to all of you on the face of the earth on this beautiful and wonderful morning. What a joy to be here, and thank you very much for being with us here as we are involved in the education and transformation of the African continent, the Alkebulan continent, sharing information, growing and learning together. I know change is never easy, and it is never appreciated when it is happening. But today in Zimbabwe there is a big celebration and a big protest, rather, or conversations around the issues of sanctions, the issue of sanctions in the country. And I think people will be gathering around. I have seen a letter from the chairperson in Malawi writing to the Africa Union and other bodies to begin to have a conversation around sanctions. On this platform, we always give you the alternative view. You know, what do other people think about sanctions? And as such, we are constantly learning and growing. We don't claim to know everything, but what we know, we share with you. As far as I'm concerned, in my small little world of perception, when you get married to someone, be it a wife or be it a husband, you reach a time of disagreement as partners, and then you decide that you want to divorce. You want to divorce your wife, or you want to divorce your husband for whatever thing that they would have done. Maybe they don't cook well, maybe they have an extra partner, or maybe they have done something in the family. They don't agree with your mother, or you have fought over budgets and money, and then one morning you wake up and say, hey, I've had enough. You go your own way and I will go my own way. And when the couple is divorcing, except in the event where you have children, that the conversation of the children must continue to happen, because children are never divorced. Children, even if you divorce, your children remain your children because you made them, both of you. But when it comes to the whole idea of divorce being finalized and the two partners decide to go their separate ways, I think immediately at that moment when you have divorced, you lose the right of telling the other partner which other partner they should marry or which other partner they should go out with, because you can only give those suggestions when the relationship is still healthy and you are living together and you are working together. But when you have divorced me as your partner and I am going my way, you cannot come back again and tell me whom I should marry and who I should be seen with, and you want to control me as to what must I be doing with my time, what time must I wake up, what time must I sleep, what clothes must I buy, what shoes must I buy, which car must I buy, and etc. And then you don't have to go away from me. If you want to be with me, then come back and stay with me, and then we can begin to talk those issues. I think that when you are talking sanctions, you are talking of a divorce decree between the parties. So in the event that a country is put under sanctions, like Zimbabwe is in sanctions right now, where the American government and the British government are no longer interested in a partnership with a country, you are no longer interested in a partnership with your wife. You want nothing to do with your wife because they have been unfaithful to you or they have treated you badly, and you pack your bags and you walk out of my house. You cannot come back again and tell me what I must do with my life. So here's my few words of thought in the line of sanctions. If the Americans and the British and the Europeans have put sanctions on Zimbabwe, it's a divorce decree. We don't have to beg. We don't have to beg the person who has divorced you to say, no, but please, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And if you don't want me, you don't want me. So in my own world, if you put us on sanctions, here's a simple requirement. Number one, take all your embassies, close them up, and go. You don't leave your shoes in my house after you have divorced me. You don't leave your jacket in my house after you have divorced me. You don't take the keys to my house after you have divorced me. If you are divorcing me, pack up your things and go. Take up your shoes, take up your toothbrush, take up your underwear, and please give us the keys. Give us the keys to the house and get out from here and go. So we suggest that maybe with these sanctions, the countries that have put us on sanctions, just close your embassies and go. Close the door and walk away. When you hear that I have a new partner, I have a new girlfriend, I have a new wife, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. Our contract of living together has expired. And particularly if it is you who is walking out of the house, please go in peace. Sanctions for me don't make sense at all. You don't want to be coming in and out of my house as you please after you have divorced me. So the issue of migration, the people that have put you on sanctions cannot be coming in and out of your country as they please. If I'm on sanctions with you, then stay in your new house. I'll stay in my old house. And there's peace between both of us. And I think what we're looking for here is a civilized way of living with each other. I know many people want to be talking about ZANU-PF, want to be talking about the other issues, etc. I'm not here to be talking about that. I want us to discuss this at a high level of a divorce decree being given through sanctions. That through that method, then you find that you want to cripple the family that you have left behind so that they comply with your rules on the other end. And secondly on that, I want also to mention that sanctions are an act of war. Sanctions are an act of war. When you are divorcing me, you don't take concrete and then fill up the veranda, you fill up the toilets, you break the fridges, and you destroy the houses, because after you have divorced me, this house must be inhabitable. This house, no one must be able to live here, including the children, including the wife, including the husband that you are living here. I think it is cruelty and it is wickedness of the highest order that you don't take divorce nicely. If you don't love someone and you don't want to stay with them, can you just be civil enough to make sure that after you're gone, their lives can continue to run at the best way possible? Now you come around with suggestions, telling your friends not to deal with me, telling neighbors how evil I am, running around gossiping about me, writing things on newspaper, phoning everybody else. Don't go there, don't talk to them. They're a wicked person, they're a wicked person. Even if I'm a wicked person, I'm entitled to live. I am entitled to live. I must live also, even after you're gone. And I think that the Americans and the British are becoming very rude and arrogant after all this time. Now you want to tell me that the reason you divorced me is the reason other people must not have a relationship with me. Hey, remember one thing, by the way, after you have divorced someone, it doesn't mean that their life stops. Their life continues. Their life continues. In fact, they may end up with another partner who is better than you. Take note of that. You're not the best gift that is in any relationship. The fact that I'm with you for now, I'm with you for now, we're living together. It's a beautiful union. But the day you divorce me and you say you are ugly, you're smelling breath, you don't know how to put on socks and match, your haircut and your beard is not nice, so I'm divorcing you because you are unkept, and you walk out of the house. Voila! Meet a nice young lady who will show me, hey, please cut your hair like this, put on shoes like this, dress up like this, talk like this, talk like this. You find me the other day on the corner of the street, putting on my nice clothes, beautiful haircut, beautiful shoes, and I'm still attractive. So the fact that I'm not attractive to you as a person who is divorcing me does not mean that I'm not attractive to anybody else. In fact, it does not mean that I cannot have another relationship except I have it with you. That's where abusers have it twisted in their heads, because they think that after they have divorced the person is undesirable, is unmarriable, is unlivable, is a hopeless person, and you want to tell the whole world, please have nothing to do with that person because I've divorced them. I think you need a psychological word. You need to go to a psychologist. You need counseling at the highest order, because that becomes with being possessive. that becomes with being abusive to an extent that a country that you think that has nothing, it's rubbish, it's corrupt, it's evil, it's everything else. And then after that, no, we're putting them on sanctions. Putting us on then leave us to live with the issues that you have done. No, don't do it like that. Then you go to the municipality and say, close the water so that they don't drink water. Then you go to the electric board and then switch off the electricity so that they don't have electricity. Then you go to my fields and then you pour acid into my field so that my crops don't grow. And then you say, I want you to feel the power of when you take me out of your life. I want you to suffer the consequences of the divorce. I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's right. We had a good relationship when it was good. When the relationship becomes sour and the relationship becomes terrible, if you wanted to work on the relationship, you work on the relationship while you are in the house. You don't work on the relationship outside of the house with the divorce papers that are served on my door, with electricity closed off, with the water contaminated, and with poison that is in the house. Then you say, because I divorce you, I want you to feel the pain of divorce. Sanctions are as good as divorce. So if a country like America, Canada, and Britain is divorcing itself from Zimbabwe, you don't have to close the taps of water, close down the hospitals and medicines, close down the livelihood of those that are living here because you're going. If you want to go, then just go. Just go. Leave me alone with my ugly face. I will start my life again. I will clean up myself. Yes, I'll cry for a few days and miss some of those beautiful donation monies and small little grants that you were giving me. But sooner or later, I will wake up one morning and I will actually pick up myself together and run. Yes, you can say the Zimbabwean government is failing. That's why we have the divorce. But after we have been divorced, what must we do? Must we commit suicide after divorce? This is where I think that even the parties such as MDC, you must think very carefully. Because the fact that we are divorced does not mean that you must commit suicide after your husband has left you. Now, did I jecha? No, let's go and hang ourselves. Let's kill ourselves. Let's make sure that this is non-functional. Let's make sure that the government does not work. The roads are not working. The sewage systems are not cleaned up. Everything must be horrible. It's like a woman who has been divorced and she forgets to bath. She forgets to brush her teeth. She forgets to put some perfume on herself. Clean up yourself, girl. Ungavumi ntombo. Ungavumi ntombo. You clean up yourself. Go back on the market and do the best that you can. Learn from the bad habits that have caused the divorce and start looking for new relationships that are meaningful to you so that you can grow. So I think, in my own 2 cents worth, if you put me under sanctions, close your embassies and go. Number 2, don't come into my country and go out of my country as you please. Because when I'm on sanctions, I'm not free to visit your house and see your new girlfriend. Yeah? You divorce me here. Then you want to come to the house and come and supervise and see what is happening. Hey, who is sleeping in this house today, and etc. But if you can come and supervise my house and see what is happening in my house, why can't I come to your house also and see who you are sleeping with tonight? Let me come in your refrigerator and see what you are eating today. Let me come also and supervise and see your bank account and see what is happening there. No, it only works one way. It only works one way. If I divorce you, I have the right of supervising you. But if you want to supervise me, I should also supervise you. Hey, we are sending people to come and look at human rights. We're sending people to come and look at, to come and assess and see if the what is like what. What is like what? Have you ever called me to come and see sanctions and to see votes in your own country? Have you called us as Zimbabweans to come and supervise the American elections and see how Donald Trump lost the elections? Did you call us to Britain and Germany to come and supervise your elections? Did you ever call us to Canada and come and see your elections? I want to say that the Western world is abusive. It's an abusive partner of the highest order. That after you divorce someone, you still want to control that someone. How do you control someone that you have divorced? How do you control someone that you have divorced? Step away from the pedestal of being a partner. You are no longer a partner. You are now my ex. You are now my ex. And if we have divorce papers that have been filled in, you need to find a new day to come back here and propose me afresh and say, I made a mistake. I love you. Can we start again? And of course, once bitten, twice shy. I'll remember how you left the last time, and I'll ask you one question. Oh, you are back now. Welcome back. But are you sure that what made you leave the last time will not make you leave again the second time? Because you can't have a relationship where someone walks in and out as they please. When they are happy, they are in. When they are sad, they are in. When you don't cook the pap that they want and the milk that they want, they go. When you give them one piece of meat and you eat, and then they get angry and become ballistic, and then they want to throw away the toys out of the cot. That is highly abusive. In a psychological space, these colonialists are highly abusive. Because after you have divorced, after you've put us on sanctions, we have a right as the divorced people to live, to clean water, to electricity, to medicine, to banks, to money, to everything. That is a human right. That is a human right. You don't have the keys as a person who is putting on sanctions to begin now to decide that I want to squeeze you, and I want to make sure that you die. I want to make sure that you starve. I want to make sure that you are sick. And they want to make sure that nothing goes right. And I mean, how do you do that? It's like the Mozambique and the Portuguese when they were leaving Mozambique, poured concrete into the sewage and water systems and destroyed offices because you are divorcing and then you want to break things around. I mean, we should fund the Human Rights Commission and argue this thing out. That our ex-husband America, our ex-husband Britain, our ex-husband Canada is divorcing us. But in the midst of divorcing us, they are now abusing us. They are now abusing us. They are beating us up. They have frozen our accounts. They've messed up our systems. And they still say, because we don't want you to love anybody else. You must only love me, the American. You must only love me, the British. You must only love me, the Canadian and the Australian. You cannot love anybody else. Hey. Life does not stop with you. You are not the only sexy, beautiful human being on the face of the earth. When you walk out of my house, I might be poor today. I might have nothing today, but does not mean that my life will be like that forever. I will pick up myself. I will dust myself. I will wash up myself. I will stand on the road again. I will find someone who loves me, who appreciates me, and who loves my children. I'll clean up this house. I will remove your clothes from the wardrobe. I will remove the memory of you in my space so that I can begin a life without you. There's nothing new that is happening to us. Cuba was in a similar space of sanctions. They've built their own economy. They built their medicine, fixed up their cigars, fixed up their sugar. They are doing well. The infrastructure will be a bit dilapidated, but they're putting it together. Right now, Cuba is supplying the best doctors around the world. China was put in sanctions. They closed their doors. I like the Chinese model. They closed their doors to all foreigners, socked in their heads, took some caterpillars and graders, IT equipment from the West, built up their own economy. They opened their gates 30 years later, and China was and is now one of the best economies in the world. They don't even believe in democracy. They don't believe in Christianity. They don't believe in all these things. They're just doing their ways. The Chinese must do their business. And I think Zimbabwe is in that space right now. Less the issues that we can be discussing outside and sidetrack ourselves. Because sometimes when children discover that the father is now divorced them, now the children want to sit down with their mother. Yeah, but you also were doing bad things. And your mother, the other day you were saying this to dad. That's why he left. And then his mother came here. You did not treat her nicely. That's why this thing happened. And children begin to fight with their own mother over a husband who has left the house. Hey, I'm already in trouble already as the one who has been divorced here. Best thing we can do, children and mother, or children and father, is to sit down together and say, this rascal, this father of yours, this mother of yours has left us. we are now here by ourselves. No, some of the children are smart. They leave the house. They go to the man who has left and go and tell the man who has left how much they must punish the mother who is here. So we have people in the country who are busy promoting sanctions, running around the world. Yeah, put them on sanctions. Don't remove the sanctions. And while they are not removing the sanctions, you come back home and you want to sleep in the same bed. You come back home and you want to drink the same sewage water. We wake up a little bit. Let's think as divorced people. And when we are divorced, it's not only the mother or the father who is divorced, even the children have been divorced also. As such, we need to start thinking together as a people and say, we no longer have a partner. Ubaba walapha ekhaya akasekho. Umama walapha ekhaya akasekho. The father of this house is gone. The mother of this house is gone. There we are. Then what do we do with a partner who is gone? Going to the person that has left the house to tell them how to punish us some more. I don't think that is wise in the list of words. I don't think there's wisdom in you trying to partner with the partner who has left the house because you want to fix the partner who is still with you in the house. If you really loved your father, if you really loved your father, if you really loved your mother, and you approve of the divorce, then tell your father when he is going away from the house to go with you. Then go with your father. Go with your mother. So maybe we need to suggest this to Chamisa. We need to suggest this to other parties, that if you really love the Americans and you love the British, please go with them. Go with them. Travel with them. They will look after you there where they are, and leave us here who believe that this is our maternal home. This is our paternal home. We belong here. We are not going anywhere. And we will not allow anyone who has left the house to cause chaos here where we are living. We will not allow you to come and pee in the dish where we are eating because you want us to feel the pain. So if you really love the man who is divorced or the mother who is divorced, please, you are grown up enough. You got a beard on your face. You're a lawyer. You're a doctor. You know better as to what must happen. Talk to the father who has left. Get a passport. And then just go back. Go with your partner. Go with your father. And let's see if your father is able to look after you away from your own country. You know, this whole scenario of divorce for me cannot further explain the issues of sanctions. When you put people on sanctions, you have actually stated and started war. It's economic warfare. It is a medical warfare. It is a financial warfare. And if you don't love me, please find a partner that you love. And leave me to find a partner that I also love. My behavior and my life has nothing to do with you anymore. In good relationships, we always talk and we always work together. And when we work together, we can build together. But if you decide to leave me, you lose all the rights of managing how I must live my life. So please, in one tagline, if you love the man who has divorced me, if you love the woman that has divorced me, and you don't like me, who is still with you here, I suggest you go with the partner. And the partner that is going, please, take your bags, take your smell, take your clothes, take your spoon, your toothbrush, and your smelling socks, and get out of the house. Just get out of the house. I'll remain here. I'll clean up the mess. I'll look after the children, and we can have a welfare. And next time you see me, dun dun tara, nangu makoti, li 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 li. People celebrating my wedding with someone else. Don't be envious. So whether we have a relationship with the Chinese, with Singapore, with BRICS, with Arabs, and etc., I think it's none of your business. If you have left me as a partner, bye-bye. Bye-bye. We'll see you on the highway of life. I thank you.